Melty Blood, a third strike player, he has a question. It's a very, it might be a tricky one to answer.
Okay.
Who was the best player you ever faced in any game?
In any game.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I've played a lot of different people, and like obviously, I fought Daigo in a couple of games, and it's hard to fight him and everything like that. But I would probably, just from there's a lot of answers to this one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I do want to say that, probably one of the number one players I would actually have to say is Justin Wong. Because, obviously when I fought, Vi all the time in Southern Hills Golfland, I fought him week after week after week. And so,
Yeah.
I was kind of used to fighting against him. But the very first time I played against Justin Wong, I still remember so for those of you who don't realize, Justin, when he moved from New York to California, he actually moved in with me when he first came to California. So he lived with me for about a year or more. And one of the first times I really sat down and played him, I was working from home at the time when I had my day job. And I went to Justin and I was like, hey, let me just play you for a little bit, just to get some practice.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to work as soon as I win my first game.
Oh, that's dangerous. Dangerous
And
words.
I prevented Justin from getting a 50-game win streak.
What
I
was
beat
the
him
game?
up, Street Fighter 4 Vanilla, yeah.
Oh,
And
Rufus.
I beat him and he was using all sorts of characters. He was using Fei Long, he was using all sorts of characters, but I finally beat him on the 50th game. And, I was like, okay, I can go back to work now, like 3 hours later. But, it was crazy because it was one of the first times that I had played somebody that it just felt like he literally knew what I was going to do every single second. Like, as soon as I figured something out as a new trick, he had already changed to the next phase of his mix-up.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was one of the scariest things that I had ever experienced. And it was just like I don't remember ever quite feeling that helpless before in my life. And so, Justin is just kind of in that level of fighting game players. We don't see it as much because modern games are more of the mind than the heart, and Justin is an excellent heart player.
Yeah.
Also, part of that answer, I would probably say, like anybody that I faced at Hey Arcade at Super Turbo, maybe in particular Kotaka Shoten, because I did get to play his Guile. Now, Guile versus Cammy is already an 8-2 matchup in Guile's favor by default. But when I played Kotaka Shoten with Cammy, I mean, it just felt like the most helpless. Like, this is a 10-0 matchup. Like, there is no way to win this no matter what you do. Even if Kotaka Shoten was a narcoleptic and fell asleep halfway through the match and woke up 10 seconds later, I would still lose. That's how it felt in that situation. So yeah, I would probably add Kotaka Shoten and a bunch of the Japanese players that I've managed to face at Hey Arcade, because my God, that is, oh boy.